So, I wanted to talk about something called burnout. And this is something that a lot of YouTubers are starting to talk about more often. I know a few YouTubers have talked about it in the past, but it's something that I've dealt with personally a lot. And seeing that other YouTubers are starting to share their stories and why they burnt out, I thought that I would share mine. Now, if you've been watching my channel since the beginning, around 6 years ago, you know that I burnt out a lot of times. Basically, I'll make a whole bunch of content and I'll be super creative, I'll be super into it for all sorts of reasons, and then I'll just fall out of it and I won't want to make any content. And it's kind of like, I wouldn't compare it to like depression, but it's very similar. You just don't want to work anymore and you don't want to do any of that. And being a creative person, when you hit burnout, it sucks because all I want to do is create. So whenever I reach those periods of burning out, just like other YouTubers have explained, I've nearly stopped everything. I've almost deleted my YouTube channel many times because I just wanted to stop making content, and uh, I thought it was making me just a really bad creator, and I'd eventually become very critical of my content during these burnout scenarios. A few times that I've gone through them was that one week earlier this year where I tried making one video a day, every day, on Anderson Visuals, and I did it for about a week straight, and then I just stopped because I got completely burnt out and I was like into it. And then towards the end of the week, I started slacking, and then I completely fell out of it, and I realized one video a day is not something that I can manage. I love making YouTube videos, but I just can't sometimes, and sometimes I overstress myself. And around this time, I get very negative. I've lost a lot of friends during periods of burnout. I was actually just talking to someone who was actually just here, who I definitely don't have any sort of a toxic relationship with. Being burnt out puts me in a horrible mood because I'm not being creative in the way that I want to be. And it really sucks. When I have nothing to do, I get really depressed. Immediately when that burnout happens, I will I will have a period of time where I'm super upset all the time and I don't want to do anything. And I just it and then eventually I'll have that creative boost again and I'll start making stuff, and then eventually I don't know how many, it might take days, it might take months. But then I will overwork myself eventually, and I'll go back to overworking myself, and then I'll burn out again. And it happens at least once a year. Most often, like twice a year. And like I said, in that burnout period, I have gotten extremely close to just quitting everything. It really sucks when you want to make YouTube videos, or like you want to do the thing that you see as your passion, and then you just fall out of it and you get depressed, and you know that you're depressed, and you know that the only way for you to get better is to jump back into what you love, but you don't want to because it got you there in the first place. And for anyone else, they might not understand it, but like creative people, video makers, photographers, artists, people who make music, anyone who's any sort of creative, they know what it's like to have a passion and then fall out of the passion and still want to do it, but you know that it's gonna kill you. And that's what happened to me so many times. The best times that I've experienced on YouTube are when I'm focusing on everything, where I'm not just focusing on YouTube itself, or I'm not just focusing on family itself, or I'm not just focusing on friends or work or school itself. I'm focusing on like everything. I'm not focusing on one specific thing, but everything is a priority, and I split the priorities correct. Whenever I focus on one thing too much, it always ends up in me just becoming just a really negative person and someone who people don't want to talk to, which is how I've lost a lot of friends and how a lot of people have come to not like me, because I might seem like a very happy person, but in the right scenario and the right circumstance, I can be just a very horrible, mean person. And this was actually happening around the same time that I dropped the About Devin video. I know I know Devin was clearly taking some inspiration from me. Granted, we were both watching each other's channels, and we both had been watching channels like Casey Neistat, and I had taken inspiration from Casey Neistat, and it's very, very apparent that I did. And I think when my first vlog went up, Devin saw that, and he was like, "Oh, I like that," so he did it. And I saw that as him trying to copy me, even though I had technically copied it from someone else entirely. But I was just so out of it, I didn't realize what was going on. Like, all of my common sense went out of the window. And it was really, really bad, because then I just fueled a fire that was already going on with, like, Joe and Devin that I had no part in. And it was stupid. It was bad, and it was stupid. And it doesn't help that I was in that kind of burnout feeling, because I was just in a really bad situation with school and a little bit of family at the time, that I was always in a horrible mood. So I just needed to take it out on someone, and I thought, who better than someone random on the internet? And granted, that video gave me a lot of views, and granted, a lot of hate as well, but it was a way of me releasing all that anger, and it didn't work. I thought it would work, and it didn't work. So I tried it again, and there was About Devin 2, and I got more people in on it because I wanted to believe that it wasn't just about me, but I know it was just about me. And for that, since I haven't done this publicly, I've talked to Crafters Magic or Devin privately, but I did want to say that I do regret those videos, and I have apologized to him, and I want people to know that that's a thing that I did do. I'm actually working on a documentary called Small Channel, that is about the struggles of growing a small YouTube channel. It's mainly about someone who I've worked with in the last few years, who I relate to a lot. His name is Jack. He is the owner of the Cheese Puffs and Adventure Vlogs. And I've worked with him for a long time, and we have very similar visions. I thought that what we experienced together was something that I felt that needed to be shared. And then I realized that it wasn't just us, that there were other people. So I'm making that, and there's going to be a few other guests in it, but it's mainly about Adventure Vlogs and Jack, and how we've experienced struggles growing on a YouTube channel. I kind of feel like that's something that small YouTube channels deal with a lot more than bigger YouTube channels, because granted, 90% of the channels on YouTube are either inactive, or they don't have videos, or if they do have videos, they're not actually trying. And us few YouTubers who are trying, who have such small audience, we try so hard to grow ourselves, and we upload so much that we burn out more often than the people who have already grown to this high extent, because we're trying to get on their level, and it's so hard for us. Like, I haven't passed even 200 subscribers on any of my channels. And then I get frustrated when I see stuff like my very, very old music channel called like Canapig's Fave Wubs that has over 1,000 subscribers and well over 1 million views, like million total channel views. And like, that was too easy. All I did at that time was I uploaded like just someone else's music, and then my channel grew. If I'm right, I think one of the videos has almost like 500,000 views or something. which is stupid. And it feels so horrible because we work so hard to grow and we don't do any growing, which really sucks. But it's something that I wanted to share, and that's always kind of bothered me, that I didn't feel like some people really understood, so I wanted to talk about it. I have more videos coming soon. I'm going to shoot for once a week on each channel. Definitely once a week on my personal channel or this channel. And I'm going to shoot for as often as I can on Anderson Visuals. But I also have projects and stuff. So we will see what happens. Thank you for watching this quick video. And I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.